Hello students, let us understand the meaning of quadrilaterals. Before understanding or entering to this new chapter, it is important to know about the polygons. Okay, first we shall understand the meaning of these polygons and its types and the angle properties. Then we shall go for that types of quadrilaterals and understanding the quadrilaterals. So look at these figures, dear students. Here all these figures are bounded by sides, line segments, and or maybe this curved lines here, curved path. That means these are all plane figures. That means you see here that rectangle is bounded by four sides, line segments. Triangle is three line segments, and its pentagon, five sides. Hexagon, six sides. Again parallelogram, four sides. The circle it is bounded by a single closed path here, curved path. So therefore these are all plane shapes. Then what do you mean by a plane? Plane means you can see here, a plane is a two-dimensional smooth surface area bounded by line segment or curved line here. A plane is a two-dimensional smooth surface area which is bounded by line segment or curved line. Two-dimensional means it has only length and breadth. There is no width. A smooth surface is called a plane in general. In general, what do you mean by a plane? Plane is a smooth surface area, two-dimensional area which is bounded by lines or curved lines here, line segment or curved lines. Simply. So it is bounded by joining the number of points without lifting a pencil from the paper and without tracing the portion of the drawing other than single point. We should not lift the pen or pencil from the paper on the paper. If we draw a drawing, it should meet for the starting point. It should not trace it. Again, it should not trace it. Okay. So that is what the meaning of this statement. Then only we will get the plane here, two-dimensional plane. Look at these figures here, polygon. You see in the first part, the lines, that is those figures are not bounded. In this one again, lines are intersecting and which is not closed, somewhat is not, third one is not closed here in the first branch of these figures. Those are not the polygons. Observe these second type in these figures. Those figures are bounded by line segments and they are closed. Okay, those are called as polygon. Poly means many, gons means sides or angles here. This means a closed figure formed by a finite number of coplanar segments, line segments, so that each segment intersect exactly two or more others, but only at their endpoints. Okay, a polygon is a bounded closed bounded figure closed by line segments which are intersecting at their endpoints. Okay, so that is what the meaning of this polygon here. That means there are so many types of polygons. Again, we are going to classify the polygons based on the sides or vertices containing in it. For example, if a polygon has three sides, then it is a triangle. We are going to name that as a triangle. If it has four sides or four vertices, it is called as quadrilateral. If it has five sides, it is a pentagon. Six sides, hexagon. Seven sides, septagon or heptagon. Eight sides, octagon. Nine sides, nonagon. 10 sides, decagon. Okay, so etc. If it has n sides, it is generally known as n-gon. Okay, in this way we are going to name the polygons here in using the Greek letters here, Greek words. They are all Greek words only. Tri, quadra, penta, hexa, hepta, octa, nano, deca, duodeca, Okay, dodeca, icosa. So all these are Greek words. Okay. On the basis of the sides they contain, we are going to name the polygons. Polygons are named on the basis of the sides they contain. What do you mean by a diagonal in the polygon? Means here you see a diagonal of a polygon is any line segment that joins two non-consecutive vertices. Okay, for example, here in this figure, it is a pentagon. In that QS, SU, UR, RT, and QT are the diagonals. Diagonal is a line segment which joins two non-consecutive vertices in a polygon. Okay, that is called a diagonal. So these are the terms you have to know. Now the generally polygons are classified into classified into two types. It is convex and concave polygons. That means it is based on the shape or the angles they contain. Now you see here the convex polygon, you cannot see the interior diagonals are inside them. If you draw the diagonal, you will get the diagonal inside the polygons here. But in concave polygons, one or more diagonals will be outside. We can see. So that is what the difference between convex and concave polygons here. And also this difference you can see here. You see here, convex polygon means if each of the interior angle of a polygon is less than 180 degree. Now you see here interior angles in the first part of the figures you will get less than 180 only. All the angles, each angle, interior each angle in each interior angle of a polygon is less than 180 degree in that one. Then it is a convex polygon. So you have to note here in this type of polygon, no portion of the diagonals lies in the exterior. They cannot found in exterior. Diagonals cannot be found in exterior. Okay, but in the case of concave polygon we found the diagonal outside that means exterior of the polygon. Here you see the concave polygon means it is if at least one angle of a polygon is more than 180 degree. You see in the second section of the figures here you can see the one of the angle is more than 180 degree there. If at least one angle of a polygon is more than 180 degree, then it is called as concave polygon. Here in this type of polygon, some portion of the diagonals lies in the exterior of the polygon here. That means one or more diagonal can be exist in exterior of these polygons. So these are the difference between convex and concave polygon. Look at these figures. You see this pentagon has interior angle greater than 180 degree. Has interior angle greater than 180 degree here. So you see the square does not have self intersecting sides. It does not having self intersecting sides. And irregular polygon, you see that one does not have any congruent sides and exterior angles. You see this concave polygon, it has one interior angle greater than 180 degree. So now you see that complex polygon have self intersecting lines. It has intersecting lines are intersecting. And you see that congruent side, it has a regular polygon. It has a congruent sides and interior angles are also equal here. So that means we are going to classify these polygons into one type here. Some more types, the regular and irregular polygons. So that means what do you mean by a regular polygon? A regular polygon means it is a polygon which is having both equilateral and equiangular polygons are all regular polygons. Equilateral and equiangular polygons are regular polygons. Irregular polygons are they may be differ. That means they are not equiangular or equilateral. Any one of those two means they are not that is regular. For example, in the first case, in the irregular polygons, you see, of course, angles are equal, but sides are not equal. That's why they are irregular polygon. In the second part, you see sides are equal, but angles are not equals. Okay. In the third case, neither sides nor angles are equal. So therefore, those type of polygons are all irregular polygons. So regular polygons means they are both equilateral and equiangular polygons or regular polygons. You can see here, a regular polygon is a polygon in which all angles and sides are equal here. Regular triangle, equilateral triangle is a regular polygon. Square is a regular polygon. Okay, so that is regular pentagon, regular hexagon, octagon, regular decagon. We can regular dodecagon we can form. Okay, so that means an irregular polygon is a polygon whose sides are not in the same length or whose interior angles do not all have the same measure here. Such type of polygons are called irregular polygons. Means the polygons which are not equiangular or equilateral polygons or irregular polygons. So I think you understand the meaning of this regular and irregular polygons. Now you see this angle sum property. To understand this angle sum property, just observe the first figure. It's a triangle. It has three sides, of course. The sum of the interior angle of a triangle is 180 degree, we know. So consider the next quadrilateral, next figure. It is a quadrilateral basically. Forget the diagonal first. So it has four sides. No, if I draw a diagonal, that quadrilateral becomes, it will divide the quadrilateral, the diagonal of that quadrilateral divides the quadrilateral into two triangles there. And how many triangles there? Two triangles are there. So therefore 2 into 180. What is the measure of interior angle of a polygon? That is a triangle. Is interior angle, sum of the interior angles is 180 degree. How many triangles are there in the quadrilateral? By drawing a diagonal, two triangles. Therefore 2 into 180 means that 2 can be written as you see there. I am going to rewrite that 2 as 4 minus 2, where 4 represent the number of sides in that quadrilateral. What is the, how many sides are there in a quadrilateral? 4, no? 4 minus 2 we can write that 2 as. Okay, I am just for the convenience I am generalizing that one. Again look at that pentagon, next figure. It has 5 sides, of course. So therefore how many triangles formed by drawing two diagonals there? 3 triangles. That means 3 into 180 degree interior angles. Sum of the interior angles is 3 into 180. That 3 can be represented as again 5 minus 2. We can write, no, because pentagon has 5 sides. Okay, 5 minus 2 into 180 gives the interior sum of the interior angle of that pentagon. Similarly hexagon. So by drawing 3 diagonals we get 4 triangles. 4 into 180 we can write the sum of the interior angles. Okay, so 4 can be written as again 6 minus 2 into 180 is the angle sum of that hexagon. So in general, if a polygon have n sides, then the sum of the interior angle of that polygon is given by n minus 2 into 180 degree, where n represent the number of sides in that polygon. Okay, we can, if we know the sum of the interior angle of a polygon, we can find what we can say what type of the polygon it is. Type of the polygon, we can, how many sides are there we can calculate. So by using this relation, okay, for that it is very important. You have to remember sum of the interior angle of a polygon is given by n minus 2 into 180 degree, where n represent the number of sides here. How about this exterior angle? It is always sum of the exterior angle of any polygon is 360 degree. We know that one because that is the maximum. 360 is the full circle, no, that is complete angle is 360 degrees. That means exterior angle of any polygon add up to 360 degrees. This is general. So for the comparison sake, you can see in this figure, that means polygon, if it is a polygon, a triangle, it has three sides. Sum of the interior angle is 180 degree. So 180 by 3 gives 60, regular polygon. That means 60 degree. It is equilateral triangle. Okay, sum of the exterior angle is again 360 degree. In each case, you are going to get exterior sum as 360 only, because it's a complete circle, that's why. In quadrilateral, four sides. Of course, sum of the interior angle of a quadrilateral is 360 degree. Since we can make two triangles, no, that's why. 360 degree. 360 by 4 gives 180, that is 90 degree. It is a regular polygon, means it is a square. That means you see in the pentagon, 360 plus 180 again gives 540. Okay, so 540 by 5 gives 108 degree each angle. Regular polygon, regular pentagon has each angle is equal to 108 degree. Exterior angle again same, and so on. If you go, if we get n gone, no, any polygon, we can generalize that one. That means n minus 2 into 180 degree we can take. You see here, substitute the value of n for any polygon you are seeing, you will get the interior sum of the interior angles by substituting the value of n, number of sides in that one. For regular polygon, the each interior angle of a regular polygon is given by the formula n minus 2 into 180 degree by n. I divide, no, 180 by 3 gives 60 degree. How it goes? Like that only. Okay. So it remains same. Exterior sum remains always same here, 360 degree. You have to remember these two formula. That is, sum of the interior angle of a polygon is given by n minus 2 into 180 degree. Each interior angle of a regular polygon is given by n minus 2 into 180 degree by n is the formula. Those two are the formula to calculate the interior angle of a polygon. And if the sides are known, okay, you have to remember. This is what somewhat the introduction about or this the common terms we have to know before understanding the quadrilaterals. In the next class, we are going to study about the verification. We are going to verify the points discussed now. That means angle sum properties and the diagonal sides of the polygons. After that, we can discuss the types of the quadrilateral and the properties of different types of the quadrilateral and its properties. Okay. Thank you, students.